Okay, it should be working now. Yeah, no, hey, so sorry, it was kind of so I wanted to kind of do these as like I wanted to do like an interactive podcast type of series thing if that's okay. Kind of wanted to just read some things, kind of wanted to just kind of talk about some stuff, have like somewhat of like a discussion type thing. I was live streaming earlier. I think I remember seeing you in the chat earlier, man. I hope all is well. Not sure how long this would be. Just gotta change some things. Hope all is well. Um, but yeah, I mean, at the end of it, well, hold on. I'm trying to change some stuff. I still have yet to play that new PTB. I really hate that we can't use people who are on console can't do anything with the PTB, which pretty much sucks. But you know how it goes, man. Um, what's going on? What's going on, Midas? And listen, I appreciate y'all always coming through. Let me just change some things real fast. I'm gonna first kind of kind of start off about like today's match a little bit. I'm gonna read some posts from Reddit, of course, maybe even some DVD stuff, and then share my thoughts and takes. Again, I don't know how long this live stream will be, but I kind of just want to see how this interactive thing will be. That's just pretty much what that is. All right. First, I played a match earlier. You guys seen it, right? Where I had a survivor sandbag me. Well, here's the thing. And Midas, you was here when you saw it, right? You was here when you saw it. It was a blight. You already know how I feel about blight. I like him and I hate him at the same time, right? So I'm in RPD, and I think I was who was I Nia or was I? I think I was Nia, right? I think I was Nia. Literally, I throw down that pallet. There's a god pallet like by that one room. By the lockers. Like down the stairs to your right before you get to that 150/50 pallet. Literally, I didn't know she was right there. I'm just like, okay, let me just slam down the pallet, kill her right there. I did not even see the Jane at all, and I guess apparently she thought I was trying to sandbag her. So then the killer paused, and then you know how DBD is, and then they both sandbagged me. Now Midas was like, I probably should have reported them. There's times I will report if I feel like you're trying to, which I mean I should have reported, but I just didn't care enough to do it, and it was just kind of pretty much annoying. So then I pretty much got sandbagged, and then the game was pretty much over. Cause I'm pretty sure the killer gave her hatch. Pretty sure. You said yeah, I was Nia. Yeah, I was pretty much Nia. The thing about it, like trying to report in on console is very annoying because I can't specifically say this is what happened. Like okay, because all they see it in as you gotta think again. We're in solo queue, so we don't have mics. We don't have hey bro, I'm right here. I just slammed down the pallet. That's pretty much what happened, right? So then the killer likely ended up giving him hatch, and then I just end up dying, and it is what it is, right? Then I have a match where I have Dwight. Now he's purposely trying to sandbag me because we running from I forgot where killer we was at, and I forgot what map it was, but it's one of them dark maps where it's like very like I don't know. It's a jungle gym, right? There's a jungle gym, and then there's a TNL wall. So we're by the jungle gym. Survivors, please stop doing this. I swear to God, I hate when survivors do this. They literally, like, okay, maybe because he was scared, obviously. I'm trying to run, so I'm not trying to get hit, even though I still have sprint burst. The man literally gets in front of me. Now, that's body blocking, to be fair. That's body blocking. That's like, hey, no, you hit him first. I don't want to get hit. That's body blocking. Like, that's the pure definition of that. And then, so I end up saying, okay, F it, I'm just not going to go get... Now, listen, I'm not going to do the griefing thing. But I promise you, I might not go get you off that hook. And if you was on console, I might have slid in them DMs. That's what y'all think. I might have slid in them DMs. Because now you're violating. And you're doing that on purpose. Now, I understand it's like, okay, well, it's just a game. It's just whatever. But it's just like, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, solo queue is shit. Okay? I'm sorry. Like, it is. And, like, me and Midas was talking about earlier how they should have maybe have, like, and like up the stream if you guys can too, just in case. I appreciate if you guys can, and comment your thoughts below, etc. But again, it's like killers do this thing, and again, I'm gonna get into some posts in a bit. I just want to share some stuff. Killers have this mentality where it's like, anytime survivors say anything because they hate survivors so much, that you must be this, you must be that. At this point, I just do not care. You guys hear what y'all want to hear. It is what it is. I don't think 2v8 will really be a thing on a consistent level because I do think that at the end of the day, they want things to be the way they want them to be in this game. Can't nobody convince me of that's not the case. That's literally what it is. Alright? In this game, Killer's gonna be the power rule. I know people ask me why don't I play Killer. I just don't care to play Killer as much. I don't have fun. But it's like very annoying. So that's pretty much how today's games went. I did play on skip like twice. And then that was pretty much it. I probably didn't skip out all that much. And honestly, I just have not been playing DBD offline for like a very long time. I just have not been playing DBD. It's not fun as much. I think if you just want to have fun chases, that's fine. But for the most part, I just do not have fun in this game as much as I used to. The grind isn't there anymore, and yeah, that's pretty much what today's game wasn't really much eventful. I did have some fun chases, but then that was it. All right, so now I kind of want to and again, I just want to see how this goes. Again, I always tell people if you're busy, just listen to these. All right, like discussions. Listen. I don't know if y'all like to do this, but I love listening to podcasts. Rather I'm just chilling, rather I'm sleeping. I like to listen to scary podcasts. Just listen to this while you do your homework, or maybe it's too distracting while you're driving. Just listen to this. Just listen to the rants. That's all it pretty much is. Don't forget about the merch in the store. I'm sure I got some deals. I haven't really seen it yet. Sometimes my shop on the YouTube tab changes the percentages off that you can get. And if you guys like these, I will definitely get like a design just for like the podcast and stuff like that, just so people can just chill, because I can do these all day. Okay, now let's go to the. I want to kind of start off by reading some stuff, DBD, Reddit, etc., and even maybe some Twitter stuff. Depending on the material, I rather enjoy podcasts. Yeah, I think a lot because, bro, so many people are busy and moving and doing things. You don't have time all the time to just be sitting there. So you're still getting value. You feel what I'm saying? Like you're still getting value. So that's what I think a lot of people have to kind of pay attention to, is the fact that they're still getting value. You know, you're still getting something. And there's a few channels that I follow that actually does those things too, because I just like to listen to stuff like that. Okay, so I'm on DBD Rage on Reddit. And I'm just going to kind of read some stuff, and you guys let me know what you guys think about the things I'm going to read, alright? This post says, I wish I could prove to a killer that I'm not part of a bully squad. Now, this is preface under Survivor Rage. Because remember, I was just saying earlier, right? I said earlier on the earlier stream, a lot of times killers have this mentality where they think everybody's against them and everybody's teamed up, right? So it says, I was playing solo queue earlier, and every single time I joined a match, my teammates were all either effing around or they were teabagging and flashlighting at the exit gates, or even mid-game. And in one, it says, in one, they just effing and slugged all three of them and like fair, but then they came to find me and slugged me as well. If I'm at the exit gates and the killer is being tainted, I up and leave because I don't want to be part of that. I even keep my D&D perk on so I can play my ukulele, this is that guitar thing, as a show of I'm nice, please give me a break. But at the point, they're just effing sweaty, and most killers don't take it LMAO. I just get so pissed that I'm grouped up with all the bully squads. Now remember I told y'all earlier, right? Keep this in mind. Killers, a lot of times, they go against a lot of toxic survivors. And I'm not saying everybody is solo queue. I'm not saying everyone's solo queue. But y'all have to keep in mind that it's always 4 against 1 with killers. So they always going to feel like they're the enemy. Just like when we're killer, guess what? Anytime I play against killer, I'm always thinking that they might be toxic to a degree. Always. I'm never thinking like, oh, they're going to be nice to me. Or can you please, first off, survivors, stop thinking the killers have to be nice to you. So this person just said, I'm playing the ukulele, I'm trying not to be. Stop always thinking that they're trying to be nice to you, or that they have to be. Mighty said, there's no way to do that. Killers are going to do what they do, and you never know who you... Exactly. Especially, you don't know what game they've had prior. You don't know if they went up against a Nia with damn near with that same cosmetic. It's not your fault that you went up against that Nia who that you are facing a killer that went up against a bully squad that's toxic. That team, because most of the time, okay, A lot of times survivors will say, I'm teabagging, hopping up and down to show that I'm being nice to them, like, hey, hello, or, please chase me. But then you also got those survivors that hang out at the exit gates. They hang out at the exit gate. I'm talking about when the killer is just playing normally. That means they're not BMing you, dry humping you on the ground, and picking you up immediately, putting you on the hook. That's something that they do all the time. You said something that is funny to survivors can be seen as toxic. Exactly. So let me get into some of these comments real fast. This guy has 17 likes, upvotes. Truth Automatic 2866 says, OMG this. So I guess she agreed with it. He says, I've had it so bad the last few days. How the hell do we get killers to realize we just want to do gens and get out? Like, I deliberately avoid getting involved if there's a toxic Swift. I won't even save them because I think it's a take to just act like dicks, but I still end up getting punished for it. First off, again, dude, I want survivors and killers. I'm going to be very clear. Do y'all know that y'all don't have to do anything at all wrong for somebody to still just want to be toxic? Like, do people really have this mentality anywhere in life, let alone DBD, that you think that you have to be a dick for somebody to give you that treatment? I know logically it's like, well, hey, they deserve it. But it's like, you don't have to do anything wrong. Some people just play that way. You said, and playing a skull ukulele doesn't help. Exactly. Gabigo says, as a survivor tried working with the killer the last game I had, but he didn't have it. He did go after them and hook the girl, and yeah, exactly. It said she gave up on hook, and Adam tried giving up on the first hook, etc. Solo Q is just dog shit. It needs a rework, and that's what I'm saying. Like, and mind you, I'm gonna be very clear, y'all. These are adults. These are adults. Like, these are adults that play this game. It ain't just like, see, people have this mentality where they think it's just like 16, 15-year-olds, being, just playing the game cursing while their mama's at work, as a single mother, whatever. It's like, these are grown adults that will sandbag you. Okay, how many times have y'all seen me get sandbagged by a survivor? Just like, I'm just asking. How many times have y'all seen me get sandbagged as a survivor, and all I'm doing is just jumping in the locker trying to do my head-on plays? How many times have y'all seen that? I'm just kidding. Like, people at the end of the day, they have this mentality where it's like only they can have fun. See, why is it that I see that you don't like that I'm doing like locker stuff, but then you also not on gens yourself because you trying to do flashbang stuff, and then you're gonna miss like 99% of your flashbang saves. You're gonna miss your flashlight saves. Oh, but you're just having fun, right? That's fine. You can do your thing. But when I'm trying to just do my thing and just do my locker stuff, oh, it might look like, oh, I'm just hiding from the killer. Even if I was hiding from the killer, do you know how many times a survivor done walked into a locker, checked the locker to see if they can hide in the locker, but because they saw me in there, now they want to tug on it? So it's like, wait, it's not like you're the killer and you saw my scratch marks or you heard me jump into the locker. Because usually if I'm doing my locker build, I got my quick and quiet stuff on. You just wanted to get into the locker. I just beat you to it and you got mad, so now I'm going to tug on it. That's griefing. Especially when a killer can see where I'm at and then you point, hey, they're in there. That's you know how many times people don't even care that they can get reported? That's why I don't know. Is it really a thing? Is it really a thing? If people just don't care, like they do it. I mean, but a lot of the times too, people send stuff in like they camped and tunnel me, but these are not like real stuff. They can't report it. These are not like actual bannable offenses. You feel what I'm saying? These aren't fouled. Like these literally aren't that. You said the us versus them mentality really perverts a lot of views. This game. You said pointing toxic, not insta hooking, toxic anything, probably toxic. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. People have this mentality where they don't understand, like in this game. I don't think people know. I don't think people actually literally know what is considered toxic. Like I just think dry humping on the ground, purposely trying to annoy the person. I think that's literally what that is. Honestly, I think people just really just not know. So I'm gonna continue to read. You said, 'Cause She said, okay, so I think this is this. No, I think this is somebody else. Hold on. Okay, it says, I don't even mind if I don't get out. I just want the chance to enjoy the match, but at the moment I'm getting slaughtered in the first 5 minutes. It really has been so bad the past 5 days. More toxic survivors leading to more toxic killers. Yeah, yeah, a lot of times people mess it up. And then Plasma Banana says, hey, I'm a killer man, and I can't speak for all of us, so I'll just say this for me personally. Thank you for being conscious. I think they spelled that word really wrong. They put conscious, oh, maybe conscious. Okay, whatever. Thank you for being conscious about bully squads and not participating in their BS. Those people play the game just to make another person's day a bit worse. And my extension, yours, comma, since you are the random caught up in all of it. For what it's worth, I can tell when there's a non-participatory participatory party. I assume mostly likely they are random, with some small chance they are a fourth member who just not into it. Not saving the others, keeping your distance, and bringing the loot all over good ways to signal to the killer. And I bet a lot of them do pick up on it. I would. I'm sorry, the way he has this word is so weird, man. Like, what the hell are y'all writing? And he says, unfortunately, a lot of times the killer is so pissed off that they take the whole team out. They don't want to give up on a kill in a game like that. Or they might know you are not part of the group, but find you to be acceptable collateral damage. I personally try to avoid that mentality, but I'm not immune. If a group tries desperately to prevent me from hooking one particular player for some reason, bio blocking, flashbang, clicking flashlight at me to chase them instead, I'll often tunnel the person they are trying to rescue because I figured it's a bigger middle finger than taking the bait and chasing them instead. Which I didn't do that as often. Anyway, sorry it's happening to you. It sucks for everyone all around. You can always get toxic back and try to sell them out, point the killer to the location, etc. But no judgment if that's playing too dirty for you. So at least the killer is saying, hey, at the end of the day, again, they don't know if it's a Swift, they don't know if it's like that. It is what it is. I just think that, and I'll probably just pretty much move on from that. I'm gonna read one more part of her response, and then I'll just pretty much get my take from it as well. The True Automatic says, appreciate that some do recognize, and previously I've had killers that have recognized it, but lately I don't know if it's new players that don't get it, or it's killer have just got that pissed off that they just take it out on us. I don't have the Bardic perk. Oh, I think the Bardic perk, so I can't bring a... Okay, so it's that ukulele, I think, right? So I do usually just try to keep my distance or spam crouch. I'm counsel and shake my head to try to get them to understand. I will... Listen, I'm just going to stop this too, real fast. I'm just going to stop from like her point. I just need a lot of survivors to stop thinking that killers have to be your friends. Stop thinking killers have to be your friend. Stop thinking that. They are automatically the op. Stop thinking that they are automatically your friend. You said a lot of killers feel vindicated because a lot of killers feel vindicated, and general consensus is that killers are ignored by the devs and survivors are favored. Yeah, but and that's the thing. He said that adds the taste of self-righteousness to what they do. Yeah, but but ironically, Midas, that's like the complete opposite. I'm not saying what you're saying isn't right, but like it's like that's the thing with these killers that I just would never understand. It's like, and I keep forgetting, right, that I come from a place of like I've studied DVD for a really long time as far as stats, data, player base, like the average hours to the game, kill rates, the most popular perk, what got nerfed, etc. Like, so when I'm looking at people trying to tell me, like, like what's considered a dub, what's not, like well, I don't know if he was part of that live stream, if you ever seen it like a couple of years ago. He was the head dev. I don't think he works for Behavior anymore. His name was Patrick. Remember with Dowsey, he was saying to hey, he used that hockey analogy that goal leads to wins, and and if you didn't win or whatever, is that really a skilled play? And the ace, like, and it's like that's where you start to understand when people say the devs don't play their game, because it's like, why would you even say anything that's stupid? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how does that even make sense to you? That you would think it's just simply as, Okay, so you did no skill. So I'm running. So basically, I'm running and doing the hardest job as a survivor. I'm doing the hardest job, and I'm running killer. And you just sitting on the gen, and that's fine. You obviously you're doing a very important thing. But I am occupying the killer's time, so I'm carrying. Basically, a survivor who can run and occupy the killer's time is basically carrying the team. And for you to sit here and say, "Oh, well, well, so you died, so you can just go automatically get worse teammates," and then other three either escaped or whatever. That's what makes survivors feel even worse. Cause listen, if I ran the killer all day and I got hit on hook and I got whatever a dry hump and my teammates got out, I'm good with that. I'm not one of those survivors that think that I'm gonna escape every single match. But that's the problem, right? Is that we have this mentality where we're thinking we need to win every single match. This is why I get irritated when survivors don't like. Okay, if you don't care, you don't care. Like it's just that simple. I just hate when there's a winnable game and we just don't win it because one teammate just effed it up. And here's the difference between killer and survivor. Excuse me, hold on. Here's the difference. This is what's like what people have to understand with killer and survivor. Because a lot of times killer will say survivor, killer is much harder, and I understand in this context of like there's more survivors to catch, there's more survivors to chase. You have to occupy your gens, right? You have to understand like what gens all around you. I mean, killer can see gens, right? Survivors can't naturally, so we have to kind of like find them or use the perk to see them. You are okay. It takes like okay, killers can make 1,000 mistakes. Killers can chase one survivor all game, right? And lose some gens, but then end up winning the game or get a 2K minimally with no ed, at the end, or have some type of end game build, or likely survivor can be too altruistic so they can do everything right in the game, right? Doing the generators, knocking them out, and then they end up boom, end up being too altruistic down in the basement, and everybody go down. Killers can mess up so many ways, not paying attention to the 3 gen, and still come out minimally at the worst case scenario with a tie. Whereas I can be a survivor, I am being altruistic, the right time, I am doing all the gens, I am doing all of these things. And I can have that one survivor open up the gate way too soon, and then there's blood warden. Or just not doing the gen at all. Or they being too altruistic, and then the killer just, just downing everybody. So what killers don't seem to care to understand, or some just don't know, is that it feels so demoralizing as a survivor to feel like you've done a lot enough just to have somebody F it all up, bro. That's crazy to me. You said killers can lose, but they can snowball very... Yeah, exactly. Bro, go against an Oni. Because see, you also have to pay attention to like the killers that you go against, right? Like, Trapper has a slow startup. Oni has a slow startup because both of these killers have like things that they have to pretty much worry about as far as like, getting traps set up, and trying to maintain, knowing, especially if you're going against the Swift squad, that you're gonna have people trying to undo the traps, right? Or Oni, he have to get enough hits to be able to get his blood rush going up and stuff like that. These things can happen at the very end. But there's also a Billy that can snowball very quickly, especially the way they buffed him. He can just easily just go through and just knock down everybody. Especially, this is why I tell survivors all the time, bro. Stop grouping up all the time. Stop grouping up all on one gen. It's not easy, because if you go against a killer, especially like a Billy, and he can just zone you out, and he can just hit you down and knock you down, then it's a problem. So I just want to just kind of read that one. Let me read this one. This is 3 days ago by I don't know their exact name, but this is by DBD Rage. DBD Rage has a lot of crazy stuff on there. This is a killer shame. He said, there were days when I would judge people DCing or giving up on hook and going next, but now I totally get it. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Let me read that one more time. Whoever, Midas or Gabagool, whoever's still here. Oh my God. Did I just read what I just read? Let me read that one more time. This happened 4 days ago. There were days when I would judge people DCing or giving up on hook and going next, but now I totally get it. Now this is a killer shame. This is the subject. So I had 2 solo queue matches. One against Spirit and the other against Hillbilly. We were just talking about Hillbilly. Both proxy camping and hard tunneling and tunneling the unhooked survivor. Not enough being a strong killer and running a full anti-gen build. They had to camp and tunnel at 5 gens up. I'm so tired of this. There's no anti-tunnel perk that can save you when the killer wants you out of the match. Exactly. Poor Jake got tunneled so hard by the Spirit he just gave up and moved next. I still tried to take a hit and even fall for him, but nah, Spirit just wanted him out. He complained on the chat and that made me feel sad. He was just a casual player, did nothing wrong. That's when I play killer. No, I'm sorry, he said that's when I play killer, and the moment I see just a few casual players playing in solo queue, so I can't be, I'm sorry, I'm reading this wrong. Let me just slow it down. That's why when I play killer and the moment I see it's just a few casual players solo, I can't help being friendly. Okay, so basically they were just talking about killer just being killer, right? He says, I'm glad he does. Solo queue sucks. So basically, yep, Hillbilly and Spirit just did their thing. They tunneled, they did their thing, and they hard camped and proxied and stuff like that. Plus running all the meta plays, right? I'm guaranteed Lethal Pursuer. I mean, I can go to the website right now. Actually, let me just go to it. Actually, I don't even. You know what? Here, give me 1 second, because I'm gonna go ahead and. Because I like looking at stats as much as possible. Because people like to. Because killers like to use. I just want to kind of read off what is meta considered right now. If I gotta log in, they won't let me log in. I'm just not gonna do it. Okay, hold on. Because at the end of the day, I tell people all the time, I know exactly what killers say. They say Survivor is easy, but then imagine playing solo queue, which are most people who play solo queue. If I go to perks, so I go to perks right now, perk list. Okay, come on, dude. Where are the perks and builds? Okay, boom. So of course for Survivor, when the opportunity is always gonna be like number 1. You already know how that goes, right? Life, resilience, deja vu, sprint burst. Okay. Dead heart, adrenaline, decisive strike, because in Unbreakable. Of course, you already know Unbreakable got to be in the top 10 because of just how hard killers like the slug and the whole knockout build and stuff. And then let's look at a lot of killers. And I guarantee you, I'm gonna read a lot of. It's gonna be a mix of aura reading and gen slowdowns. Pain Resonance is number 1. Pop, Corrupt, Nowhere to Hide. Lethal Pursuer is number 4. Barbecue and Chili, Surge, Bamboozle, which I'm surprised Bamboozle even there. Brutal Strength and Grim Embrace. So how many aura readings did I read? So I read 2. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think like 5 gen slowdowns, and then like I'm gonna say. Nowhere to Hide is 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so like 3. Yeah, so like 3 of those. And everybody got their meta builds, like survivors and killers, right? But yeah, that's pretty much what they're doing. So imagine doing that, and then you're just sweating. And then these are the same killers though that if you put them in a scrim match, and they go against like Team Eternal, or they go against like a really good, or a Team Elysium, and they'll go against a team who actually wants to sweat, like people who see. Listen. I'm all for sweating. I'm all for let's do our thing. But you literally have people who is like, y'all do this against pub players. And then y'all don't want that smoke with actual players who actually want that smoke. I want the smoke. You can play me against any killer in this game. Give me 3 good solid survivors around my hours, around 8,000, 7,000, 6,000, whatever. Give me some survivors. You choose the map. You choose the killer. We can go. Because there ain't no hoe in my blood. You understand what I'm saying? But when you got people who just got the game because, wow, they got Hellraiser? Oh, wow, I grew up watching this in the 80s. Oh, wow, they got Michael Halloween? You know what I mean? You said this is why they should have working MMR. Exactly. But what I'm saying, they had it. The thing about it, Miles, when they had the working MMR, the issue was when they had the working MMR, right? You had so many killers that just I made a video. I probably have to post it in the post one day. And don't forget to add you add me on the Discord, but whoever else is watching, add me on the Discord. You said this is why when you get to gold in red, prioritize teams who want the smoke and who have the hours. Put up a disclaimer. Yeah, yeah. Like it literally should be that. But the thing is that we've literally had that before, and this is why. And I'm telling you, it took longer queue times because they had to match you with people, like people like Odds, people like Tofu. They were getting the same type of teams. And my thing is, see, this is what gets me about people. I'm not even talk about those killers, but like this is what gets me about people in general, right? You got people like that, like killers, that they want to do knockout builds, they want to do all of these things, right? And they want to act the ass. But it's like when they had working MMR, they did not want to play. This is why they changed everything. So it's not like DB never had a working MMR. It just took longer for queue times, and they only and as killer, when you got to a certain level of survivors, you were only going to get the same kind of people, cause they're like, well, hey, these are around your people that's around your same type of level. Now the gap or the MMR gap or something that they'd be saying, where it's like it's kind of let almost any and everybody in now, and they have different rules and regulations on how they judge you. So if you just escape a lot, then you're at a higher MMR. But let's just say if you were with teammates that were actually good and they carried you, there's only so much they're gonna be able to carry y'all. That's what I tell people. They have to get better, and you have to get better in chase. There's no way around it. People want to be gen jockeys, you can do whatever you want. But I promise you, you don't improve as Survivor when it comes, like, okay, your micro play for Survivor is looping, right? The macro play for Survivor is like understanding how to break 3 gens, prevent 3 gens, understanding how to work as a team, because macro is bigger than just you. Now I'm not saying looping is easy, because you have to understand map tiles, you have to understand perks and stuff like that, understanding how to like I'm not saying it's easy, especially in today's world in DBD. It's really not easy the way they design killer. I'm not saying that that's simple and easy either. I'm just saying that people have to understand that you become a liability, a strong liability, when you are just literally relying on your teammates to loop and you do nothing. You said they should also have customized games, maybe games that focus more on loops or different parameters or something like that. That's what I'm saying. Like, but it's like even when you like Miles, like even when you go to like, and they should, right? It's a good idea. I'm not knocking it, right? But like even if you go to like that, they just have the basis of what they feel like it should be. They just have the basis of like, hey, do generators. Like we have a palette. Do something with the palette. All it is looking like, I mean, if you look at a bot, like when bots are looping in mind gaming, they look behind them too. They're not just like holding forward and throwing the they have to see where the killer is. Even they have to do that. And if you watch them closely, they duck. They kind of look like they know when to do these things. That's why I just say for survivors, there's no way around it, because you're going to be a liability. Because you know what killers gonna do? If they see that you not own nothing, if they see that you're scared, they're gonna go after you. You just saw it earlier today when I was going against that Wesker. That Wesker decided to chase me last, or chase me for like 2 seconds. Smart killers know when to leave a chase. They know when to leave a chase. They know to be like, okay, you know what? I don't need this chase. I don't want to do this. I don't want to. They know when to leave it. You have killers that will see. This is why killers be stubborn as hell, and this is why they lose their matches. This is what I remember. When I said earlier, you have a lot of killers who they can make 1,000 mistakes, but then it just take that one survivor who just does not know what they're doing, and then they end up throwing the game. Because you have killers that will literally chase me for like too long. You chase me for too long, and now they've broken your 3 gen in main. They've broken it, because again, a lot of survivors don't even understand this. There are 7 generators in a map. This is why survivors just jump on gen. They see a gen and they just jump on it and they don't care, because they don't understand this. There are 7 generators in a map. You have to break the 3 gen or prevent it from even being a thing. And now they're creating killers like us. Like, just look at the Skull Merchant. Look how Not to go off on a tangent, I'm kind of walking around a bit. So I'm sure you guys can still hear me a little bit, right? But like you have killers that will literally, hold on. You have killers, bro, that will literally, it's like Skull Merchant, the Knight. They're not easy to break 3 gens or prevent or stop them from happening because they can just the Knight can chase you away with his guards. Skull Merchant, the old Skull Merchant, she can just put up her. That's all. People just cared about winning, no matter how they did it. Killer just care about winning. That's it. So what I'm saying is that that's the macro play of it, right? That's the macro play is there's 7 generators. You want to work from the inside to out. You don't want to work from the outside to in. If you want to use Deja Vu, which is I just read, Deja Vu is a meta perk for Survivor. It's a very good perk because survivors know at a certain level they understand, hey, let's see where the closest proximity generators are. And then if you complete a gen or see it, they're just gonna show you the next closest 3 gens are. That's all Deja Vu does. It gives you a boost. I think still 6%. I think boost or something depending on like the level that you have it on. But it gives you that. It gives you that type of boost. And so there's nothing wrong with running that. I just think that like that's what I mean by macro play. But anybody can do generators. Anybody can do gens. Can you run killer? Can you? Okay, if you and I was in a match, right? I'm not having a good game, or I'm down, or whatever, or I'm trying to focus on the gen, or I'm trying to heal up. Can I count on you? Can I count on meta? Can I count on somebody else to take the? You know what I mean? That's what that's about. And see, at a certain level, killers get when they go against really good survivors, it's harder for them to find the weakest link. It's harder for them to find that because everybody can juice. Everybody got the squeeze. Everybody can bust your ass. Not saying that everybody's going to be at the... Because, again, you got to understand how the game is. Not every loop you go to is strong against that certain killer. Just like people swear they hate the game, right? They hate the game map. A lot of killers, oh, this map is so survivor-sided. Let you load into a match where there's a nurse. Let you load into a match where there's a nurse, and she brought the game. The game is over with. Killers who bring map offerings, you already know what they own. You already know what they own. You said if that was the standard survivor, this game wouldn't survive. Like, what do you mean? You said if that was the standard survivor, this game wouldn't survive. Yeah. You mean like as far as if survivor was like really good in chase, or like what do you mean by that? That's my thing. It's like I'm just saying like. See, and the thing is, a lot of survivors probably aren't going to get to that level. Like, it's not like you're gonna. You said the nature of this game is for survivors to not be able to loop like that. That's part of the killer's appeal. Survivors who don't know exactly. No, I agree. Listen, survivors made this game what it is. They made it about looping. They made it about mind gaming. They made it about check spots. They made it about that. And what it does, people want to be on that elitist side of, oh, wow, I'm a juicer. I'm this, I'm that. You know what I mean? That's what they've done. You said survivors who can't loop are cruel to the DVDs long term. Yeah. But that's my thing, right? Is that like, and just like we were talking about earlier, if you have a casual mode where people want to do these things, if you have a non-casual mode where people want to be more competitive and etc. But my thing is that I'm just speaking just from in general with DBD. First of all, I just don't think, listen, even just by nature, bro, like, okay, they have videos. People have, I think, even courses on Fiverr. They sell courses. Like, you can pay somebody to play with you on Fiverr. If you guys, play with me, I got $7,000. I'll teach you how to loop and I'll coach you. They have those, like, literally. But I just think, like, there's a lot of adults who play this game, who are parents at that, who don't have time. Bro, I could teach, I can have a course. I got videos out on how to loop and how to do all that stuff. But people either got the time or they don't. People either got time or they don't. Like, they just don't have the time. And there's nothing wrong with that. Not everybody has the time to play DBD to learn how to mind game. But that's the nature. And this is why I say to killers all the time. They act as if every game they play, they need to sweat, because they act as if everybody they play are in a Swift, and they act as if that everybody's a juicer and everybody a mind game. I've had time where, yeah, I didn't have a job. I left the job and I was with family and all that stuff, and I paid up some bills so I can go ahead and focus on YouTube, where I was able to actually play DBD for real and rack up 8,000 hours in a short, oh no, well, back then it was 5K hours in a short period of time. I haven't played this game for not even 5 years yet, and I got the same kind of hours as somebody who's been playing since the game came out. So that's not a flex, by the way. It's not like only in DBD it could be a flex, but it's not a general flex, because that's a lot of hours and a lot of gaming. Like, it really is. But my point is that DBD is a complex game. There's no, listen, there's literally no tutorial to teach you how to loop, because again, that's not what that's not what they even call it. They don't even call it in DBD text how to loop as Survivor. That's not how they have it. It's do the gen, hide from Trapper, hide scratch marks. This is why they have scratch marks. And this is why I get mad at Survivor who get mad at Survivors who hide. Because it's like, it's a hide and seek game. Does that make, like, it's a hide and seek game. It's not a game that people are meant to, you know, you run up to the killer and you're trying to, but no, you do have windows, you do have pallets for you to try to dodge killer and stun them with. But the devs are only making the game based off of how survivors respond, how killers respond to it. So that's what I'm saying. Like, this game is more complicated than what people like to think. And killer, I'm sorry, it is the easier role. You are faster than every survivor you go against naturally. Survivors have to have a perk that lasts, what, 5 seconds, if that, just to get a boost from you. Killers have bloodlust. They didn't always have bloodlust, but they got it now, and it's not going anywhere. You feel what I'm saying? So that's like my whole thing. It's like, I don't know. So I'm just gonna kind of read a little bit. I read from the post. There were days when I would judge people for DCing and giving up on Hook and going next, but now I understand it. And so I'm now going to read the surviving enthusiast. It says, she responded to that. She said, it's pretty sad to watch in solo queue. They queue up for a match, get relentlessly tunnel out in BM most of the time in the process, then go back to queuing again, rinse and repeat. Exactly, yep. All the second chance perks people rant and rave that everyone should carry won't prohibit killer who is dead set on tunneling someone out. And that in itself is miserable. Not fun that poor player being tunneled out for no reason. No fun for the survivor left behind knowing they are on borrowed time and a match is a bust. There's an out video somewhere showing a solo queue match. Despite having cracked players on the team, they could not prevent this race from turning out at random Steve for no reason. So I don't know where people get this mentality. Listen, this is why I say don't argue with people in bad faith. Don't do that. Killers will literally say, well, just bring Unbreakable. Just bring Unbreakable so we won't slug you. Bring Decisive Strike. Bring Off the Record. They say that as if that... See... Oh, man, dude. It really annoys me. Like, nothing will stop a killer from tunneling you out. Nothing. Nothing will stop a killer from tunneling you out of the game. And killers know that. Like, they know that. Like, they know if they just want somebody out there. But see, the only way you really... Listen, there's nothing that you can do from a killer from getting you out the game. The best thing you can do is waste the killer's time and make them lose the game. Now, if that killer doesn't care about winning that match, they don't care if you waste their time and all the gens are done, and maybe you stunned them too many times, you gave them nopers, and you did a little head nod. Cause that's what I do. I mean, sometimes I'll do the nope, but a lot of times I'll do the head nod at the pallet or whatever. Or I'll do the Khmer motion, like chase me more and stuff. That's it. But killers know that there's nothing you can do. There's only so much time you can do. It's like sprint burst. It's not a forever sprint burst. Oh, did you sprint burst? The killer would never catch you. No, it only works like 3 to 5 seconds. Okay? And then it runs out, and then the killer's going to catch up with bloodlust at some point, and that's it. Right? So, the best thing you can do, first off, just expect it. I mean, it is what it is. That's why sometimes I feel like it's necessary to have Off the Record. It's necessary to have Decisive, even though they've nerfed both of those, like, I don't know how many times. I mean, Off the Record used to work in-game. Now Off the Record don't work at all in-game. It doesn't work at all. DS doesn't work in-game. You ever notice that? You ever notice how weird that is, yo? That you complain and say you have Off the Record, have DS, but you know that does not work in-game, and it used to work in-game? See, I love when killers say stupid stuff like this, but it's either you're new to the game, which... you're new, Or you're just admitting that you just don't know what you're talking about, but you also play the game. Or you're just trying to argue with me in bad faith, which I just would rather not do. Because if you want me, because okay, people talk about, oh well, survival. I mean, all these second chance perks they give you at the end. What second chance perks do they? So what is the point of having off the record? It is if I'm a wraith and I just want you out the game, and you have off the record, there's nothing you can do. I want you out the game. And, like, does that make sense? Because your off the record, your OTF, or your OTR is not gonna work in game. Like I'm gonna get you up out of there. Like, come on, let's roll. I'm gonna get you up out of there. Let's go, let's roll. I'm telling you out the game. Let's roll. There's nothing you can do about that. Killers know that. Killers know that. That's what bothers me. Killers know that. You said they nerfed those to mix up the meta and keep the killer exactly. But I don't like the argument where Killer will say bring second chance perk as if it stops them from being tunneled and slugged out. Cause guess what? Unbreakable. Okay, just bring Unbreakable if you don't want to be slugged. Okay, Unbreakable works one time. Let us have unlimited Unbreakable. You wouldn't tell us. Okay. Ooh, I'm getting irritated. Okay. So Killers would be like bring Unbreakable to stop the anti-slugging, right? Just bring Unbreakable, right? That's what they say, right? Just bring Unbreakable. Let them make Unbreakable unlimited. Bro, Unbreakable is so busted. It's such a busted perk. See, they tried that in the PTB years ago. We can't have Unbreakable unlimited because they know, right? Unless you have no Mither or no Mither, whatever that's called, or that soul, whatever, where you can keep picking yourself back up. You know that wouldn't work. If a killer really wants you out of the game, you can't really do anything. You out of the dude. I remember, bro. I remember it was this race because you know me, bro. You know I slide in DMs. You already know how that goes. If you live, if they whether you live or not. If you live, I gotta slide. You know I'm gonna slide them DMs and I'm gonna talk my ish and then I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna skedat. But I remember years ago, this this Wraith wanted me out of the game. Like he wanted. It's like I felt like I was like a cartel member that disobeyed one of the leaders, and they just had to have me out. Like it was a real execution in DBD. When I tell you, he didn't care about no generator, he didn't care about a crow, he didn't care about time, he didn't care about eating food. He just wanted me out of the game. And yes, of course I was busting his ass, but that didn't matter. And so much so, everybody was chasing behind him, trying to stop him from getting me. It did not matter. He wanted me out. He chased me out. He downed me. He put me on the hook. He beat me on the hook. This was way before the dry hump happened. All he did was give me nopers. And then I looked at the name. And it was a killer that I trashed. Oh my god. Like imagine them. Because that's the thing too. They can see you in the lobby. They can see you in the lobby. You said I was tunneled like that once. With a Myers, he literally tunneled me from 5 games. Yeah, from 5 gens till I escaped. At least you escaped. He said the most you can do at that point, extend the chase for as long as you can. Dude, he wanted my head. He wanted me out. So when killers do that, it's bad faith argument. You know what's so funny? Killers love having like ideas for survivors to be like, hey, why don't you just bring Unbreakables? That way you don't get slugged out. Like you don't want to be on the ground. The ground is filthy. Why don't you just get up off the ground and just get up? Just don't be on the ground. They do that until I said, hey, but why don't y'all just take that same advice and bring Fearmonger or Mindbreaker? It's called Mindbreaker now. Why don't y'all bring those perks when y'all was bitching about Deadheart? Why don't y'all just like? I don't understand that. Why did y'all complain about Deadheart? I'm gonna show you exactly how it's called Mindbreaker works now, right? It's called Mindbreaker. I don't know how long it takes to get off the gen and how much it affects. But Deadheart was a perk back in the day when you were injured. You hit a X button, you hit the space bar or whatever, and you Deadheart for distance, right? It bought you an extra time. Killers hated that perk. They say all you have to do is press a button and you live because you just dash forward. It's the stupidest, most broken thing in the game. But if you were injured or not, if you touched the gen and you had Fearmonger or Mindbreaker as killer, you were exhausted off the gen. So if you as killer, you have to chase people off of gens, right? So if you chase them off that gen, they couldn't use Sprint Burst, they couldn't use Deadheart because they were injured. Killers were not trying to hear that. You know what Killer said? I shouldn't have to bring a perk just to So you're trying to tell me to bring a perk to counter a dumbass method just to slug me on the ground to prove a point. This is why I hate arguing with people in this community, because it's all bad faith. One minute you tell us how to counter y'all dumbass stuff, but when we try to tell y'all back in the day, hey, just wait it out, forehead. Wait it out, numbnuts. Right? Hey, bring Fearmonger and make it a meta perk, because you know, hey, fight meta with meta. Why don't you do that? They weren't trying to hear that. Why should I have to bring that? But then now we got to bring Unbreakable, knowing that that only worked. At least Fearmonger worked all game. Like, bro, that, I swear, man. You said Infinite Sprint Burst is a good anti-tunnel build. Oh yeah, hell yeah. I mean, if you have what you talking about, like with Vigil? If you have Vigil and you have what is that called? Vigil, and then you have Fixated, you kind of preserve a little bit. Because again, the old DBD had stuff. The old DBD had it where I think that you can be exhausted and still run and all that stuff. I'm not, yeah, you said Vigil and Fixated, cool, yeah, exactly. You said so, and then auto adrenaline if you are on the ground for a total of 30 seconds. Oh, okay, nice. But that's what I'm saying, is that you say I use Urban Invasion on with its versus a Huntress of 2 times in a row. They struggled so hard. Yeah. Dude, it's very good to use those perks. It's very good to like learn how perks chained up. But see, this what bothers me too. Okay, why did they have to touch resilience? Resilience used to work. Okay, first off, I'm sure y'all remember, because I'm sure y'all was playing DVD probably before me. Who knows? But resilience and spine chill worked so good. It worked so good because with spine chill, when the killer was looking your direction, you got like I think a 6% bonus or something. Mind you, I'm only talking about like the 3rd tier, its strongest tier. And they had it where you could just like, I don't know, like so if you pair that, and I think with Resi, you get like a 4% or some type of speed boost, like when you are vaulting when you're injured. So we used to be able to use that. Bro, they reworked spine chill. Here, I'm gonna go to it right now. I'm gonna go to all these perks right now, so that way I'm not just guessing any of this, because like I'm actually doing this live, right? So Resi is, if I go here, right? No, I actually want to go to like one of these. Sorry. Oh. You said don't forget to smash the like button. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Yeah. I hope you guys are enjoying my rant stuff. I never done this live. I always wanted to do it live. Resilience, right? So you get 9% additional vault speed, right? You get a 9, and it says vaulting, all of that stuff, right? Now, cause see, this is how you know, cause I love when killers like to talk, cause they just run their mouth a lot. This is crazy to me. It's insane. Okay, you said use speed, repairing, sabotaging, unhooking, cleansing, blessing. It used to say vaulting. See, why did they have to touch it though? It used to be vaulting. Used to be able to get 6% speed vaulting. So imagine 6%, 6 plus 9 is what, 15, right? So imagine being able to vault like that, like, you know, because these things stack. You can stack stuff together like Legos. You can stack them. And they changed it. Why? The game is so meant for survivors to be killer. Why are they removing things that actually was so goated together? Anybody who played back then knew Spine Chill and Resi was goated. And they said, nope, let's get rid of it. It's the reason why, bro. Like, that stuff be pissing me off. So that's why I'm saying, like, when people complain about, like, these killers, a lot of time what it is, on both sides, by the way, killer and survivor, they both have this mentality where they just listen to people in the community, they choose a side, and they automatically hate. At least I hold both sides accountable. I'm just saying, like, when people try to tell you how to use a perk, well, like I said, if somebody wants you out the game, they want you out the game. Decisive strike is not going to work the way it doesn't work in game. None of it. You said, I remember the old Spine Chill killers hated it almost as much as they hated the OG Dead Hard. Yeah, and then look what they did to Mage for this. They got rid of these meta stuff that they know that helps Survivor and Chase. They got rid of it. And they always say, oh, survivors get everything. Do we? The things that we do have, they get rid of it. You said Spine Chill with Resilience was my favorite, most used combo, but it's incredibly used. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then they just reworked it. And then the devs have a thing where they'll rework stuff that nobody told them to change or touch. Like, why are you touching certain perks that nobody complained about? Or why are you reworking certain things? mind you, this is not a bash hating killer podcast. It's really not. Even though it's called the Survivor Sided Story podcast or the Survivor Sided podcast, whatever you want to call it. But it's just like I want people to realize, like, just be objective on both sides. You said I think mine was OTR and borrowed time back in the day. Oh, see, now borrowed time I think is even better now. You know what I mean? It's even better now. Let me see. Borrowed time, because now we have natural borrowed time, right? When somebody get off the hook. But now if you go to borrowed time, man, I want to see what they got it now. Let me see. It says keep their endurance. It said when survivor you on hook, keep their endurance status effect for 10 extra seconds. Keep their movement speed even faster. So that's what I really like about it too. But people are just not using it. You said or OTR, which is off the record, and Detective Taps perk. Forgot the name of it. You mean well you thought that one perk about, like when the gen is done, you see like the aura of everything, or are you talking about tenacity? Are you talking about tenacity where they can crawl faster? I love tenacity. Tenacity with unbreakable, and also maybe even with sprint burst. If you want to kind of throw that in, if you want to get really, you know, to like kind of make some recipes in, you can really get that going. Because here's the thing, like slugging, anti-tunneling. Listen, they got something for camping. They got it where you can, you know, they got that Rebecca's perk. They got it where you can unhook yourself if they're too close. But there's really not much you can do if somebody want to tunnel people out the game. So I was just kind of going off on a rant, but I just want people to realize there's nothing you can do if a killer just wants you out the game. The best thing you can do is just have somebody do generators, have somebody do that kind of stuff, and that's just pretty much what that is. Okay, so I just pretty much read that one. I just wanted to kind of get that one out the way. To the Leon player who took Shaq window from saving someone from the base. Wait, no, I'm not going to read that one. Content creators ruin this game. Let's read this one. This is a rage post. Hold on. It says, Rebecca was another good one. Yeah, it said, I had a hyper focus build. Hell yeah. So this is the one that says, content creators ruin this game. I'm so tired of a random YouTuber or streamer, Hans, Johns, they're talking about Scott, odds, etc., bringing these things into light that aren't an issue until they bring it up. I never saw anyone bring syringes before, or barely any until they talked about it. I never saw huge speed builds a lot until a YouTuber talked about it. Never saw buckle up FTP, which is for the people, until it was brought up, though this was sort of an exception. These are non-issues beforehand until they are put into the spotlight. Nerf to oblivion. Remember, now I was just talking about that. Remember when I was saying, now I was just, well, okay. His point, I'm gonna finish reading it, but his point is he don't like when people talk about it. He don't like when people, you know, bring these things into light. But there are things that I just think that the devs are doing themselves. Like, okay, you know what? We're paying attention a little bit to some of these things, and we're gonna kind of get rid of it. But let's go ahead and keep reading. This post is from a day ago, by the way. You said, Nerf to oblivion, then it's never used again, making the game more boring. The content creators have to make content, I get that. But at the same time, we'll make a random video bitching about one niche strat that fell off once or twice in an hour session. Then it blows up, becomes meta, then they cry about it being meta. Not to mention a lot of DVD content creators are more toxic players in the community. So I guess this whole thing was about the syringes, which I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, both sides, killer and survivor, they bring add-ons. Didn't they nerf? But I know they were talking about. I know they're just talking about syringes. They nerfed brand new part as well too. Like they coming for survivor stuff. They're coming for survivor stuff, bro. That's the whole thing. They're literally coming for survivor stuff. They're literally like, you know, having the mentality of, let's just get rid of all of these things that make it where, you know, they already nerfed healing. Why are you touching that? Why are you touching syringes? Then someone posted, let me see. Somebody responded. I mean, to be fair, a lot of the stuff they point out aren't items, add-ons, text. They're just kind of useful. It's usually things that are either very OP, quote unquote, or things that would limit counter gameplay. Because it works both ways. Without content creators bringing things into light, we might still have 7 Blink Nurse. Because her kill rates were so bad for so long, maybe they would have decided to never nerf her add-ons. Or maybe Blight's add-on wouldn't have been changed, or Spirit would still have pre-nerf MDR, which is mother-daughter ring, or maybe she would have never gotten her directional audio for phasing to allow some counterplay, which is nice. I do agree with that one because with headphones and with them having directional counterplay, you have a better chance against the spirit, right? Hell, maybe killers would have never gotten their base kit buff overhaul 2.5 years ago. He's talking about the 6.1.0 patch. The list goes on. It's annoying to see that these things get changed. But just because you never see any of these strat used currently doesn't mean it would have always been in the case. Nor does it mean that the strat isn't OP or unfair and unfun. People are going to use whatever it gives them the greatest advantage to win, which I agree with. So even though it is annoying to see some of these changes, I do believe it is for the better. In my opinion, syringes should just have been flat time for like heal, like 60 seconds. That can be affected by buffs. That way it's still useful, but not nearly as efficient as it currently is still is it to use. Having item strat in a multiplayer game with very limited counterplay but huge benefit for one side doesn't make for a healthy community. The closer we get to the game that is more balanced with less techs that are uncountable or ones that have very little meaningful counterplay, then the sooner we can get new perks that will allow for new wacky different. But here's the thing too. I definitely hold on. Let me read what you're saying. You said it never really noticed anyone using syringes until Hens mentioned it. Yeah. I agree. Because I think the take is a double-edged sword. True, some of their some of their takes can be problematic, but sometimes they can be good. Here's the thing too. That I just want to be very clear. I just find it funny that the people that bring these up like are killer mans usually. Because killers pretty much get what they want, especially if they make videos like Hint. Ox is the biggest DBD content creator, right? He's like the most known. People know him. He said, Gabagool said, my only issues with the game are the gen rushing, going next on hook, players not playing normally, etc. Yeah. The tunneling, camping, and slugging is also annoying. Yeah, exactly. I just think that when it comes to, like, okay, when you are a killer and you are one of the biggest content creators as killer or one of the biggest streamers, and you are a fog whisperer, which is not Hens, but Ots. I mean, Hens can definitely be a fog whisperer if he isn't already. I can see him being that. He's like a very good representation, got a good voice. He makes really good videos. I just think, yeah, they have that. Like, the devs are listening to them. The devs are, like, kind of got their ears a little bit closer to them because they are, killer mains on top of that. And they are the biggest content creator. And they have, so when they're talking about these things, I just think when they talk about text, when they talk about these, this is when I go back to, they're talking about the small percentage of players who are really good with these type of things. You get what I'm saying? He said, mine is just he said, mine is just bad solo queue, survivors feels rigged, and the lack of MMR. Yeah. He said, I just want this game to work like a normal PvP game. I get it's asymmetrical, but that doesn't mean you need to. But I agree. I agree. I agree. My thing is that, like, I just think that people keep thinking that everybody can just do. There are people who cannot outrun. Well, I can't keep saying that because if they're gonna continue to buff these mid-tier killers like Pig, where her dash is longer, it can go extended far, so she can counter. It's like what the devs do, and I keep making the same effing argument. The devs are only paying attention. Doesn't it make sense that okay, they're listening to people who are at like high MMR as killer. These killers are facing high MMR survivors. There are a small percentage of good survivors in the game. And they are listening to so these are not the everyday survivors that a lot of these killers are facing. Or they just would not be going on these like amazing long win streaks. So wouldn't it kind of make sense that the devs are only paying attention? Not saying that I agree that they should be doing this, but does it kind of prove the point that they're only worrying about like the really sweaty, really good players? But these are not the everyday average players. Like, these are not like the one I was just, remember the post I was just reading about the whole ukulele girl and she just wants to play. You think she cares and knows about all the techs? She's doing a nod and hey, I'm just trying to do my gens and leave. You think she knows and cares about the crouch tech from demo? For them to be removing these things. Now, granted, the guy said, well, hey, this is why we needed to remove the 7 blink nurse. This is why we needed to remove this. But it's just like, again, they are focusing on players that have a lot of hours into this game. I have a lot of hours into this game. I don't expect, if I'm playing with anybody who are a casual player, which I mean, I'm somewhat of a casual player now. I don't play DVDs as much as I used to. But there was a time I played a lot. And the things I've learned and the things I actively watched videos. Hey, check spots, how to do this, how to do that. Okay, how to do this type of thing. And this is why when I try to argue with certain people about certain, like, okay, how I can literally break down why I don't like certain killers in certain loops. Like the Huntress or Demogorgon. How I know it's irritating for years trying to face them in Shack because their reach is so stupid. It's not this. Their reach from how they can hit you is so dumb. It's almost like you damn if you take it, you damn if you don't take the window. You damn if you take the pallet, you damn if you don't. If you throw a pallet against a hunter, it's likely you have to be a little bit more greedy because if you play obvious, she's just gonna hit you. These are things that like you study and you learn and you understand. Like this is why I did what I did. But people don't. Not everybody plays like that. So what I'm saying is that like it's real simple. Do you think we have are there more average players or are there more cracked players? Which one is on both sides? Are there more average killers or average survivors, or are there more average survivors and average killers? Or are there cracked killers and cracked survivors? Like, you have to know that there are more average players. You have to know that. And even when you watch, like, let's say Night Lightning and Solo Q, yeah, they are playing with 3 other survivors or randos who don't know what they're doing. So yeah, you have to rely on them as solo queue survivors to work together and help each other out. But yes, it's still solo queue. These are average players. And all I'm saying is that what the guy is saying is Oxenden will bring up stuff that they face all the time at their high MMR lobbies, right? Or hens in their high MMR lobbies. And yeah, they're going to feel that. They're going to feel a syringe mattering. They're gonna feel. Let me get my charger. They're gonna feel that syringe. They're gonna feel what it's like to go against a brand new partner and actually matter. If you got like a regular survivor, bro, they don't know what this stuff is. Most of these survivors are not that good. They don't know how to loop that well. They don't play killer or they don't play survivor, and that's just what that is, man. So I don't know. But yeah, other than that, man, I don't know. I just I'll just close like this because I don't want to hold you guys too long because I know I gotta do my mindful meditation and stuff like that. But what do you think about the podcast live? Like how is the? Would you rather this or is it or are you okay with either one? I want to just know. I mean, I like the interactive or the interaction, being able to talk because not only am I just like. I feel like I'm in a room with people when I'm like talking about these things. You said you don't mind? It's cool because again, it's not as long as you guys can hear me well, it's fine. Again, my mic is. I wish I had like a PC because my mic is so much better than what this is. I mean, this is a Turtle Beast mic. It's pretty good. So I'm not gonna say it's trash, but it's just that mic that I have is like really for like a podcast studio type mic. That's why like when I do my videos, you can hear really clear. At least I'm always down for engagement as long as it's genuine. Yeah, that's all it's about. That's all it's about. I won't try to. And you know what's so crazy? Doing this like this, talking to you guys and all this stuff, time just flew by. Like it literally just flew by. I didn't play not one match, and it just flew by. Like, so it's nice. But again, these are for people who just want to listen to these when you're on your drive. And guess what? I don't have to worry about uploading it because it's gonna be uploaded. I'll share it on a post, but I don't have to worry about editing it because it's uploaded. Like once I'm done with this, it's gonna be already done, and you guys can just listen to it. But I like these fair discussions. I just want to conclude that at the end of the day, I will say this though before I close. Content creation in a lot of games, especially in DVD, I just don't like that people are always caring about meta because I feel like that's all people want to see is how to do this, how to do that, how to, they always come up with these videos. And it's just like, I think there's nothing else outside. Like my boy, nobody named Ghost. Shout out to him. I love watching his videos. He's growing fast. But people like to watch toxic content, DVD. I'm about to watch that after I get done with this. They like to watch toxic content stuff. But it's like,
you know, like I don't only have like one or maybe two of like, especially just one of like a killer interaction with me. He thought I was hacking when he was just really new to the game, or he was just very casual for him to think that I was faster than him and I was hacking. I didn't do any of that. He was just, I don't know, he just couldn't catch me. But trying to make content like discussions, this is where my lane is. This is where my lane is. And if people like these, I just want to see more engagement. That's it. I mean, I know you guys rock with them, but that's just what I want to see. Is just more engagement because it's like it's not me being lazy. It's just that this is where helped me grow in this community, in this space. Kind of like a Scott Judge type of thing. That's the most comparable I would say is in a sense of like our style and what we do. I just don't have a camera, but that's pretty much what that is. And like he'll just randomly do his stuff, like you know what I mean. I think Tofu honestly would be very good at doing podcasts because he loves to talk. So I think even he would do stuff. But you know he's been playing for years. He already has a huge build, a huge community. But yeah, man. I mean, I like having these type of discussions. I like talking about like past gameplays and stuff like that. So that's what I kind of want to leave this. And again, if people, I want to make posts about this tomorrow. Hey, catch them live, and then guess what? They're up. So if you want to check them out in the morning, go ahead and check them out in the morning. If you work the graveyard shift, go ahead and do that, man. But hey, other than that, I might live stream tomorrow. We'll see. I don't know. I might just rest. And yeah, man, I appreciate you guys listening and watching, just checking out my Nia and stuff. You know, she's been rocking me for a very long time. And yeah, man. Other than that, I can't wait to play against the new killer. Actually, I can wait. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't. I'm not even. I don't know who the new killer. I've never watched that type of anime, so I really don't care. I'm not gonna lie. Say I can't wait to play against the new killer. I can wait. I do not play. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I do not play DBD for reals at all. So I really do not. But hey, love you guys. Appreciate you, and I'll catch you guys next time. Have a blessed day. Thank you for listening, and if nothing else, peace.